welcome back to my channel, Thousand Life fam. If you're new here, my name's Jenaya and this is Live a Thousand Lives. Today we're going to be doing my May, June, July, and August wrap up. I know, I'm behind. It's okay. Anyway, there is not as many books on here as you would think there would be. But you know what? We're just going to go with it. It's fine. So we're going to start with May and work our way to August. So let's get started. Okay, so the first book that I read in May was Beach Read by Emily Henry, and I put this through Copile. So Copile is a rating system created by G at Book Roast. I will leave her information in the cards for you guys. If you want to know more about the rating system, go and check out her video that I will have linked above. And for characters, I gave it a 9. For atmosphere, I gave it a 9. For writing, I gave it a 9. For intrigue, I gave it a 9. For logic, I gave it an 8. For enjoyment, I gave it a 10. It came out at a 9 even, and that is a 5 star. So Beach Read was probably has become one of my favorite books this year, but it's just so good. I loved it, every minute of it. So Beach Read is, I don't have the book on me. I have seemed to misplace it as well as like half of the books, so hopefully I'll find it because I'm gonna be very sad if I have lost it. But Beach Read is about this girl named January, who goes to a lake house. She called it Beach Read, but it should have been like Lake Read or something because they're at a lake, not a beach. But anyway, so she goes to go through her father's lake house, and she has discovered a family secret before she goes there, and is just mad at everyone. And she meets this guy who she's bumped into before. They're both like authors, and they decide to write each other's books, like they decide to write from each other's genres basically, and such and such ensues. It was really good, and there was a couple of hard-hitting things that really what is the word I'm looking for? They're really connected with me personally, but I'm not going to go into it because we'll give it away. So that is Beach Read. I absolutely adored it. I think you should check it out. The second book that I read in May was Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Rift. This is my son's graphic novel. I was reading it for some reason. I don't remember exactly why now. But anyway, for characters I gave it a 9. For atmosphere I gave it an 8. For writing and plot I also gave it an 8. For intrigue I gave it a 9. For logic I gave it a 7. And for enjoyment I gave it an 8. It came out as an 8.14, and that is a 4 star. The third book that I read in the month of May was Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, and for this one I gave the characters an 8, the atmosphere a 7, the writing and plot also a 7, the intrigue and logic a 6, and the enjoyment a 7. It came out at 6.86, which was a 3 or a 3.5. I decided to give it a plain 3 stars. I don't really remember anything about this. I didn't enjoy it. I was confused, and it just was one of those books that I didn't enjoy. And I've tried to read this book so many times before, and I did read it all the way through. I listened to the audiobook this time, but it still did not help. I did not find this book. It's just not my cup of tea. Now let's get on to June. So in the month of June, I read The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, and I put it through Co-Pile again, and it characters was a 9, atmosphere was an 8, writing was a 9, plot, intrigue, and logic were all an 8, and enjoyment was a 9. It came out at an 8.43 and was a total of a 4.5 star. I think the reason this one didn't get a 5 star from me this time around was because I struggled a little bit to get through this one, mainly because of reading slump and stuff, but I'm still going to count it as a 4.5 because it could also be that I'm getting older. So we'll see how the rest of the series goes. I am still doing a read-along, or rereading the series. The next book that I read in the month of June was City of Villains by Estelle Laurie, I believe. And I can't find this book either. I'm very concerned about where these 2 books went, Beach Read and City of Villains. So I just decided not to hold up any books because I am missing a few, and I'm very concerned about where they're at. For characters, I gave City of Villains, for characters, atmosphere, and writing, I gave City of Villains an 8. For plot and intrigue, I gave it a 9. For logic, I gave it an 8, and for enjoyment, I gave it an 8. It came out at an 8.29, which is a 4 star. This book is about a girl who is in high school. She's a senior in high school, and she is doing I almost said interview, that's not right. She's doing an internship at the police station, and she, all of a sudden, classmates of hers start disappearing, friends of hers start disappearing, and she is trying to help figure out why and what's going on, and it is real intense. I'm just gonna say that, like, real intense, and I can't wait to read the second one. I didn't know it was a series. I thought it was just a standalone, but no, it's a trilogy or more. I know of 3 so far, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. If you don't like Disney villains, don't read this book, because the characters in this book are based off of Disney villains. So I'm very interested to see who our main character is, if she is a Disney villain, if she is a Disney like hero, or if she's just nothing, you know, like or is like a, you know, real fictional character, like, not fictional, made up character for this story. Wow, my stutter came out. I'm so sorry. Yeah, in case you didn't know, I have a slight stutter. It's part of my dyslexia, don't ask. But it was really good, and I really enjoyed it, so I cannot wait to get the second in this series and see if it improves or doesn't. So those were the 2 books I read in June. Now let's go to July. 'Cause your behavior's never So in the month of July, I read The Tea Dragon Festival, and this was so cute. It's the second in the series, so I'm not gonna go too much into it, but it was super cute. I absolutely adored it. For characters, I gave them a 10 because they're like some of my favorite characters. For atmosphere, I gave it a 9. For writing, plot, intrigue, and logic, I gave it an 8. And for enjoyment, I gave it a 9. It came out as an 8.57, which is a 4.5 star. Super cute. I absolutely adored this. If you haven't already, check it out. I'm excited to read the third one, and I don't know if there's any more after that, but it's super cute. The next book that I read was More Than This by Patrick Ness. This one was a hauled haven't read vlog. I think it's vlog 2. If you want to go and check that out, I do go into this book and how my feelings are for it in that, so I will leave it linked above for you guys in the cards if you want to check that one out. But for characters, I gave it an 8. For atmosphere, I gave it a 9. For writing, I gave it an 8. For plot, I gave it a 7. For intrigue, I gave it a 9. For logic, I gave it a 7. For enjoyment, I gave it an 8, and it came out as an 8.00 even, which is a 4 star. So this book is very much, in my opinion, reminds me, now that I'm thinking about it, of things like the Maze Runner series, Hunger Games. There's a series that I loved called Unplugged. Basically dystopian YA stuff. Although this one is more, to me, has more hard-hitting topics involved, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. But it did make me want to read more of my old, like the Hunger Games again, and made me want to read Unplugged again. So yeah, it's really good. It's about a boy who, oh my gosh, what was his name? I have it right here, hang on. I forgot what his name is already. That was from my other video. Seth. There we go. I wanted to say Chad for some reason, and I knew that was wrong. So Seth wakes up and he has drowned. He knows that he has died, but he wakes up and he's naked and starving and thirsty. But he wakes up in a town where there's no humans, no animals, there's overgrown vegetation everywhere. There's dust covering everything. It's very much like the city just picked up and left, or was destroyed in some way. So it's really good. I highly recommend you read it. There is some twists I did not see coming in this book. There's some interesting factors. So I highly recommend you pick it up. I will say this. There's no real answers, so if you don't like that kind of thing, and I am hit or miss with that. This hit it. I was great. Like, I loved this. Night Film by Maria Pessel, I hated it. So if you're like me and you don't really like books that don't give you a nice tight bow, this may not be it for you, but it did work for me, and I normally don't like that. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was very good. The next book that I read in July was Mermaid Saga Volume 1. And for this, for characters, I gave it a 7. For atmosphere, an 8. For writing, a 6. For plot and intrigue, a 7. For logic, a 6. And for enjoyment, a 7. This came out at a 5.86, which is a 3 star. It came out as lower than Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which kind of feels right. I didn't like them both, but Mermaid Saga, it was really confusing, especially at first, and the reasonings behind things just don't make sense to me. I mean, there is more volume, so maybe it will in the end, but at this point, I don't know, and I don't really care to continue the series. I may eventually, but at this point, I just don't know if I will. But it's about a guy who is trying to find the answer to how to break the eternal life curse that has been put on him unbeknownst to him. It wasn't like someone cursed him, someone fed him something that turned him eternal. So he can't die, he heals, like, etc., etc. And then he meets this girl and saves her from being killed. That's all I can really tell you. But it's very interesting, and I'm just not sure what the point is, I guess. Also, there is nudity in this, and I did not know that, so 18 years or older would be more appropriate, I guess. That was Mermaid Saga. The next book I read in July was Giant Days Volume 1. For characters, I give it a 9. These girls are so funny. I love them. For atmosphere, I give it a 7. For writing, an 8. For plot, a 7. For intrigue and logic, an 8. And for enjoyment, a 9. Came out as an 8.00, which is a 4-star. Giant Days is a contemporary graphic novel about these 3 friends who are in college and go through life, basically. And it's very interesting, it's super funny, but the reason atmosphere didn't get as much is because it's real world, and I live real world all the time. I want a book to take me out of the real world, you know. So it just, you know, I didn't really feel like I was walking with them anywhere or whatever, but it's super good. The friendship is hilarious between these 3, and the trouble they get in is hilarious as well. So check out Giant Day. There's one more book for July. Gosh, I didn't do too bad in July. I was thinking I didn't read at all. Anyway, the last book that I read in July was The Man and His Cat. I don't know who it's by. I apologize. I didn't know who Giant Days was by, or Mermaid Saga either. So The Man and His Cat, I gave the characters a 10 because I absolutely adored them. Oh my gosh, the cat and the man are just, they're so wholesome and sweet, and I just love them so much. The atmosphere, I gave a 9. The writing, I gave a 9 as well. The plot, I gave an 8. The intrigue, I gave a 9. The logic, I gave an 8. And the enjoyment, I gave a 10. Came out as a 9.00, which is a 5-star. It was so good, you guys. It was so cute and wholesome, and I just love these characters so much. Oh my gosh. They're so cute. Oh my gosh, the cat is so cute. Oh, I love him. Anyway, sorry. Really cute, really cute. I highly recommend you check it out. So let's move on to August. So in the month of August, I only read 2 books. After that amazing July, I only read 2. I read Giant Days Volume 2, which I gave the characters a 9. Atmosphere an 8, writing an 8, plot, intrigue, and logic a 7, and enjoyment, I didn't write down the enjoyment, I think I gave it an 8. Anyway, it came out at a 7.71, which is a 4-star. This is the continuation of the first one. It was cute. I enjoyed it. The atmosphere was a little bit better in this one. Not magical or anything, just I felt more connected, I think, to the story and to the characters in this one. The next and last book on this whole list is Ransomed by Tana Stone. I finally read it. So the characters I gave a 10. The atmosphere I gave a 9. The writing I gave an 8. The plot and intrigue I gave a 9. And logic I gave it an 8. And enjoyment I gave it a 10. So, it came out as a 9.00, which is a 5-star. Let me tell you what, okay? This series is so good. It's such a guilty pleasure. I absolutely adore it. Everyone needs to read it because it is hot and it is good. I mean, is it the best thing I've ever read? No. But it's short. And it has steamy scenes that are just good. And it's got aliens. And they're so sexy. That is so weird to say, but oh my gosh. It's so true in this series. I absolutely adore it. Oh my gosh. Adored is kind of a weird word to say. I would say it absolutely... It's just a very good... See, it's just good. It's just good, okay? Anyway, this one I enjoyed more, I think, than most of the other ones, except for probably... No, I think... Yeah, I think I enjoyed this one the most. And I think it's because they weren't stuck in the same, like... They weren't stuck on a ship. And that was really cool to see a different planet. And yeah, I'm very excited to read the next one. The next one starts out with a sex scene. How do I know? Because I already started reading it. And I didn't know that, and I asked my Alexa. She's in my bedroom, so I was hoping she wouldn't hear. If she could read it to me. Big mistake with my husband and my kid in the room. I didn't realize, because normally the steamy stuff comes later, like later in the books. Like, you know, after at least 50 pages. Page 1. And I was like, Alexa, stop! Stop! Oh, luckily it was my older boy, but still, it was like, he was like, Mom, what are you doing? Anyway, so those are all the books I read from May to August. Not too shabby for me. 12 books, that's not bad, right? I don't think that's bad. It's fine. 12 books. Yes, I know that some people can read 12 books in a month, but that ain't this girl. That's just not. One day I hope it will be me, but right now it's just not me. So that is all for this video, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up. Ding that little bell icon so you can get notified when I upload new videos. Consider hitting the subscribe button so you can join the 1000 Life fam with us here. I have lost another subscriber. I don't know what's going on. I think it might be YouTube, because every time I gain a subscriber or two, I lose 1 or 2. I don't know what's going on. But I'm at 186 and hoping to reach 200 soon. So fingers crossed, share my videos, whatever. And remember to comment down below. Let me know if you've read any of these books and if you have, what you thought about them. Also, let me know if you have any questions about any of the books, or if you're, you know, not sure you should read a book, and I'll try to answer those questions as best as I can. If you would like to let me know that you were here for the whole video, but you don't really want to say anything, please go ahead and leave me a beach emoji, some sort of beach emoji. please remember to check out the description box, which has all of my social media links, as well as my Amazon wish lists and my Etsy store. Please check out my Etsy store if you are interested to see what is there. I am still working on it, so there's not a ton of stuff right now, but there is some stuff, so go ahead and check that out. I'm hoping to get a couple more things up this week, so we will see how that goes. Also, remember that I have mental health links in all of the videos from the start of 2021. If you or someone you know needs them, please use them. Remember, guys, a reader lives 1,000 lives, and so can you, so keep on reading. And remember to stay safe and healthy, be happy and kind, and always love one another. See you in the next video. Bye.